What up YouTube, Spikeroid here with another video, and this time it's going to be another entry in my Games I Don't Enjoy Playing series. And this time we're going to talk about a game called Onechanbara Bikini Samurai Squad. Onechanbara Bikini Samurai Squad is a hack and slash video game that was released on December 14th, 2006 in Japan, February 10th, 2009 in North America, and February 27th of the same year in Europe. It was released exclusively for the Xbox 360, as you can see. So as you can see, I didn't enjoy this game. So let's see why I didn't. I will say though, the story is pretty fucking good. It is about samurai girls, Aya and Saki, who are in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. Of course, Aya wears a bikini, and well, this game has three things that I fucking love: samurai, zombies, and bikini girls. Not only that, but the story takes many fascinating directions that actually got me invested in it. It even has a few well-written scenes of dialogue. Aya even says that they will probably never return to their previous, more tranquil life, which I thought was interesting. One thing that may be good or bad depending on how you look at it is that the game does not include an English dub. The entire game is in Japanese but there are subtitles, so people who don't speak Japanese can understand them. On the one hand, this might be a problem if you have difficulties reading especially large amounts of text. On the other hand, you don't have to worry about really fucking cheesy acting and dialogue that many English dubs are notorious for having. But that's just the story. The real important part of a game is the gameplay, so let's get to that. I will say the controls for using the katanas are pretty fucking good. You can easily kill the zombies in pretty fucking gory ways, and it is pretty fun to do that. However, there are a bunch of fundamental flaws with the level design. The first couple of levels don't really tell you the right way you're supposed to go. I wasted my time in certain areas of the levels only to find that I was going the wrong way all along. But when I went the way you were supposed to go, it usually made things easier. It also helps that the later levels are a lot more straightforward, but that begs the question, why the hell would you put the more labyrinthine levels in the beginning of the game? Wouldn't you save those for later? Also, the camera is fucking garbage. It frequently gives you horrible angles that you can't see what you're doing. You can change the angle, but it constantly fights you with the angle it wants. Also, there are some levels where you play as a soldier named Anna, who comes a bit later in the game. Anna uses guns to take out the zombies, which is actually a pretty cool concept. However, the gun controls are fucking awful. You have to manually reload when you run out of ammo. This can be really fucking frustrating. This is also when the bad camera is most noticeable. Not only do you have to deal with that, but it takes way too many hits for the zombies to go down for my liking. Especially the tougher enemies, at least with the pistols. The machine gun and the shotgun are slightly better, but not by much. It is still a pain in the fucking ass to use. But perhaps the biggest problem I have with the game is that there are a bunch of items that you can use to help you progress, but the game does not give you the items that would be most useful in certain chapters. Like, for example, there are these blood orbs that make Aya and Saki go into berserk mode that allows them to kill the zombies faster than certain enemies. However, that does drain your health. Why the hell would you ever need this power? Well, because there are tough enemies that can only be killed using this power. Now, the only way to go back to normal is by using a purifier stone or touching a shrine that purifies you. The only problem is that a good chunk of the levels feature those enemies that require the Berserk mode. And they don't include purifier stones or shrines. Even though they would be very useful in those levels. Now, Anna can take out those tougher enemies with explosives, which seems to be the best way to take them out. It does work, although pulling them off is kind of a pain, and you can't play as Anna in every stage that includes them. Now, another example of the game not really being good with stones is that there are levels with boss battles and these bosses can take a good amount of your health down. There are these green stones to regenerate your health. However, the stages with the really fucking tough bosses don't always include the green stones. They give you either the blue stones, which increases your speed, or the red stones, which increases damage. These do help a little bit, but they're not nearly as useful as green stones. These got me killed way too many goddamn times. This is at its worst in chapter 15. It is a boss level with 2 giant zombie bastards. Now, you are not given a single green stone in that level. These guys can take way too fucking long to take down. If you get attacked with them, it can take a good chunk of your health. The only fast way to take them down is by using a special slash that does more damage to them, to both those big zombies. However, it does take a little bit of your health away. I died a lot of fucking times at this boss. After so many failed attempts to beat it, I was just like, fuck this, and just quit the game entirely. It's just not worth it. The boss would not be so bad if you were actually given some green stones, but no, all you get is purifier stones. Even though there are very few blood orbs or enemies that require Berserk mode in this chapter, and you don't even have to kill them. So it is pretty fucking useless. Do you see what I'm getting at here? The game has really fucking bad design. It does have some cool ideas, and I really wanted to like this game, but the execution was very poor. I have not played any of the other Onchanbara games in the series, so I don't know if the other games are better, but I didn't care for this entry. Most of them are not on Xbox consoles or the PS3 anyway. While the game has good elements, the overall terrible camera, the janky gun controls, and the dreadful placement of power stones is what really kills the experience for me. If these were done better, this game would have been so much better than it is. Anyway, I'm Spike Robot. If you like this video, you can subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to plug my Patreon and my Instagram. If you support me on Patreon, you can get exclusive updates on my next video. And if you follow me on Instagram, you can see all the pictures I took in Venice, Italy. Go check those out if you want. See you next time on another Freedom Jingos.